Sport fans, I'm Michael Kaepernick.
And I'm Brandon Wicker.
And we stand for everything. Brandon, I just want to let you know, I support you in everything that you do. I'm here for you. My hand will always be there for you, just to let you know. We're brothers.
Appreciate that. We're coming to you live again from Bellacino's, home of the grinder. Just getting back on track after Hurricane Irma washed us away and start another season.
Yes, I'll tell you what, I mean, that was a rough 2 weeks we just had with the storm. Our blessings and prayers go out for everyone out there. Hopefully everybody's cleaning up and getting that debris off to the curb.
So, Mr. Michael Kaepernick, what do you got for me?
Well, like you said, it's been a while. How you been?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Well, here we are. We're getting ready to go into week 3, and I got 2 questions for you with some multiple teams on there. My first question to you is, are they for real or are they just 2-0? And I'll read off the teams to you.
All right.
The Denver Broncos.
I'm going for real. What an improvement in their quarterback, too.
That's exactly what I wrote down on here. If Seaman can keep coming, that defense is for real.
They got the running game and the defense, so if he just keeps his head up, doesn't make mistakes.
The Oakland Raiders.
Gotta go for real, man. The defense is getting a little better each year. Offense is totally there. Gotta be for real.
Well, I'm not necessarily ready to give the keys to the caddy just yet, but I will say that offense is a scoring machine. I just wonder when the time comes, can the actual defense come to play?
We both know that you have to have D when it gets to the Big Ten.
And now, the Kansas City Chiefs.
And again, that's a heck of a division. I'm going to say absolutely for real. The only question is, when they get in the second round of the playoffs, is Alex Smith going to do it?
That's what I want to. They're extremely well balanced. Right now, the game manager is playing really good.
Yeah, he's doing
And I gotta say, I love that call Andy made in week 1. Kid fumbles the ball, puts him right back on the horse, rides off, and this kid's been running with the bull since.
If you were going to be a detractor, which apparently you're not, that's what's going to be my point to you. They went into New England. Nobody does that and smashed him in the mouth.
No, they did that a couple of years ago. That's hopefully, but I do. I completely. Right now, I'd say they're probably the most well-balanced team on both sides of the ball. Now, how about the Baltimore Ravens?
They're in what I would call a weakening division for now. Bengals are faltering. You can almost say the Browns are on the rise. I'm not sold on them yet. I'm sold on their defense. Not sold on Flacco's offense yet.
Well, like I put on here, they did. They beat the Bengals and they beat the Browns. That's equivalent to beating up an old lady with paralysis and winning a foot race against a guy with a wooden leg, as far as I'm concerned. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Again, I'm not going to fly out there. They have the offensive talent. Depends on their D. If they bring their D with them, we're going to find out.
I got written down here. Sorry, Antonio Brown. Even Instagram's not impressed. This ought to hit home right now, but we're at the Detroit Lions.
They played 2 games. They always look good in the beginning of the year. I'm not going to give them big stars yet, but they're looking better. Their defense is looking better.
They're a score machine. They've already scored 59 points in 2 weeks. But like history shows, let's see how they do down the road. The Atlanta Falcons.
Again, they lost their coordinator Shanahan to San Francisco, and they look okay. We're talking about a team that had the Super Bowl in the bag. All they had to do was play the second half and couldn't do that. I don't know. They're there. It's too early. I'm not all over them.
I got written down, if the Bears could freaking catch a ball inside the 5, they'd be 1-1, as far as I'm concerned. And then last but not least, the Cam Newtons.
No, I'm not going there yet. He had his off-season surgery. They're fair. Let's see how they get with some other competitions. It's too early for them.
I got written down here, Superman just lost Olsen for 6 to 8 weeks. That's going to hurt him.
Oh, yeah, that'll hurt.
So, my next question is, are we playing for the first round pick already? I'm going to ramble off some 0-2 teams to you. The New York Jets.
Absolutely.
As I got written down, Jets, sucks. The Los Angeles Chargers.
I'm gonna say not yet. It's you look at both their games; they could have won them both. So not gonna tank them yet.
I got written down here, when you only have 1,000 people show up at the game and you're charging $100 in the parking lot, what do you expect? The Cincinnati Bengals.
Might as well play for next year, and probably a new coach. Not that there's anything wrong with Marvin. It just seems like it's been too long. They're not listening anymore.
I got written down poop.
Yes.
The Cleveland Browns.
You know, they may be, but look what happened to them this time around. They had an excellent draft. They're going to surprise some people. You know, you got to remember they got a rookie quarterback. Defense keeps improving. You know, are the Browns going to win their division? No. Are they going to make the playoffs? No. Throwing it in the tank? I don't know if I'd say that, but they actually might surprise and win a couple games this year.
I'm keeping with my theme. I wrote down the word turd.
Well, that's a smelly division.
Where's my gun? The next team, the Indianapolis Colts.
Stick a fork in them. If Luck doesn't get out there on the field, they have no offense. I'm not impressed with their defense.
I got written down, my pro keeps on falling here. I got written down, Luck, run and demand a trade. Get the hell out of Dodge.
I'll tell you what, though, that was a smart move, picking up that quarterback from New England.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
I will. I give them that. Next, and this one was very surprising to me. The New York Giants.
I won't say that yet. You know, after all, don't they have Geno Smith on the sideline now? It's just Manning and them haven't got together yet on offense at all.
I just have one here that don't cash in.
I'll give them a few more games yet.
I just put on mine on my sheet. It's not ready. They're not ready yet to cash in their Carnival Cruise Line tickets, but it's going to be close.
It's getting close. Yeah.
The San Francisco 49ers.
Laugh all you want. They're 0-3 and they could be 2-1. Just that easy. They almost beat the Seahawks, and the other night they lost by 2. You know, for a missed extra point. But,
I just.
You know.
I'm with you. I just think it's a train wreck. It's like, man, you're right. They could be 2-1, but it's like, you know.
They've already, him and Lynch or whatever, they've already flipped the roster. So, you know, things are looking up. I look for them to be improving.
The Chicago Bears, as we hit home on our producer here.
This is twice now. I mean, if you remember that draft pick, Kevin White.
Yeah.
I don't think he's played 6 games for him, but, you know, the season hadn't even begun. They lost all their receivers. It's just tough. You know, I don't care who's at quarterback there. Who are they going to throw to? Well, they got one guy.
I got 4 words written down: play hard, lose harder. It's a shame. I mean, they fight. Like I said, week 1 they should have won that, but
they're showing some D again, but I don't know who's going to be doing the scoring.
And then lastly, the New Orleans Saints.
They can play defense. It's tough to stick a fork in anything Drew Brees is with on offense, but their team is going to stink unless Drew Brees can put up 48 points a game.
I got written down, and I think I've been saying this to you for quite a while now. Why is Drew Brees still even there? They should have traded him, let him have a chance to win a Super Bowl, and then they could have got a ton of picks for him. Could you imagine if he was with, like, say, a team like Minnesota or somebody?
You do realize some people like to retire where they, you know, like Roger Staubach and Tom Brady.
I also have written down, I got 2 things for AP. Just give him the ball 9 times or beat him with a stick. Either way, shut him the hell up. I mean, what does he expect?
I don't think he fits into their offense. He needs to be traded somewhere else where he could do a good job.
He fits in the woodshed.
Arizona Cardinals.
He fits in the woodshed.
If he was at the Cardinals, he'd run all over your Cowboys.
Yeah, that defense, I think anybody could, really. So, here we go, week 3. There's a bunch of games coming on. I picked 2 myself in particular, but who do you like this week?
I was just going to comment on yours. I really didn't write anything down major. You know, I like, there's a couple of division games going on. You know, we just talked about it. Chargers don't have a win yet, but Chief Chargers is in the division, you know, so I'm expecting that to be a good game. I'm intrigued by the Tampa Bay Vikings game. All the hype about the Vikings, you know. Tampa Bay is going to Minnesota favored. Believe that?
Yeah,
That's unreal. The one I was going to laugh about, we discussed briefly. We were talking about your poop and your turds there. The Browns. I want you to dig up in the archives. Tell me the last time the Browns were favored. And how about this? Favored on the road.
I think Jim Brown was probably getting the ball handed to
Favored
him.
at Indianapolis this weekend. You believe that?
That's unbelievable. Well, I got a game for you. The game of the week. Hot Atlanta going to Detroit. 2-0 and 2-0. Power against power.
We're going to find out. We're going to
Manny
find out what
Ice
you
and
said.
Stafford.
Yeah. Who's got the better D in that game to stop the offense?
Well, that's what I wrote on here. As far as for Atlanta, can they get Freeman going early against that big front? The Detroit's got a big front, and we've seen what the Bears were able to do, and the Detroit's bigger and better defensively than the Bears.
I was going to give Atlanta a little edge in that department. They both have good passing games. Atlanta dominates Detroit in the running game. Detroit doesn't have any running game.
And then I put on here, can Detroit get pressure up the middle to get the Manny Ice?
I don't know.
The only thing I got written down on here is Atlanta may in fact have the best center in the league. This Alex Mack, which is definitely going to help them. I think at the end of the day, though, I do see Atlanta being able to pass on the lines. And let's be honest, they're playing on turf. We know Hot Atlanta loves that. I got the Falcons winning that one, 31 to 20.
It's going to be a trap meet, and the points could go even higher than you said, but I'm going Falcons.
And then my next game, it's a game that everybody's going to turn on the Kardashians to see if Kyle Jenner really is pregnant. The Browns are going to the Indianapolis Colts. You gotta love it, but like I said.
The Colts are at home, so they got that going for them. Do the Browns have enough defense? Their defense is improving. Do they have enough? This Cody Brisket or whatever his name is not totally familiar with the Colts the way they run yet, but.
Well, I did a little research.
It's going to be interesting.
I did a little research on this, and apparently this is the 29th regular season meeting between these two teams. And get this, they are 14 and 14.
Really?
Yes, and I just ran out of a bunch of paper. I couldn't write down all the superstars that will be spotlighted in this game. So I'm just going to highlight two future Hall of Famers, and I figure these two will battle it out. And that is Zane Gonzalez and Adam Vinatieri. I feel these two will probably be the two leading scorers in the entire game. And as usual, I got I'm going with the Browns as well on this, and I'm saying the Browns are going to win this one 12-9.
Nice.
And this game is another reason why the NFL ratings are falling faster than my balls at 46 years old.
I'm not going to agree with that. I don't think ratings are tied to that game or games like that. I think ratings are tied to, well, look at you, Michael Kaepernick.
That's it. It's all about it. Hey, now, let's get into some college football. There's only two good games this week as far as ranked teams, but like I was telling you earlier, I went over the top 10. Bama, Clemson, Oklahoma, Penn State, USC, Oklahoma State, Washington, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Ohio State, and number 11, Georgia. I have a hard time with the fact, and number 12, Florida State. I have a hard time with the fact that Ohio State's 10 and Florida State is number 12. Meanwhile, Georgia being 3-0, they beat Appalachian State, which, no big deal. They won in the Notre Dame one, and they just beat the hell out of Stanford, and they're number 11. How is Ohio State, after having a tough one against Indiana, getting their ass beat by Oklahoma, and just beat Army, still 10? It just blows my mind.
I couldn't agree with you more. I told you I was going to let you rant a little bit. You just have to remember that's why that panel was created. All these polls that start out in the beginning don't really hold any salt. What is it, like week 5 or 6 that they come out and they redo all the rankings?
It's just ridiculous.
That's probably when you'll know.
Florida State's 0-1. They got their ass beat by Bama, and it's like whatever. So like I said, there's two good teams two good games, ranked teams. You got TCU going to Oklahoma State and Mississippi State going to Georgia.
I'll tell you what, Oklahoma State is on fire. They're favored by 12.5 at the moment. They're at home. they're just playing lights out right now. I can't say enough about Okie State.
I got them winning that game 37-21. What about Mississippi State going to Georgia?
Yeah. Mississippi State looked awful good taking down LSU, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
I have not seen enough of Georgia. I don't know what they got going on this year. They're favored by 4. I'm assuming most of that's a home favorite part. But I guess I'll just go with the home team on that because I don't know. You know, Mississippi State, like I said, looked good. Can they do it back to back? We'll see.
Well, that's what I did. I'm giving the home field advantage, so I went with Georgia 28-25. How about briefly, let's just look at the major league picture right now for the possible playoffs. And I wrote down some things, that the possible teams in this. We got Boston, Cleveland, Houston, and New York. I basically went with Boston and Cleveland in a rematch with Cleveland again going back to the World Series. Over on the National League, I got Washington, Chicago, the Dodgers, and Arizona of all teams. In this one, I got Washington choking as usual, and I got the Cubs and the Dodgers playing again in a great matchup, and I got the Cubs and Cleveland in a World Series rematch.
That's interesting. Yeah, how about that division? Dodgers, Arizona Diamondbacks, and Colorado are probably going to all represent.
It's amazing.
Both wild card and division winner.
And they deserve it. They deserve it. They're all playing hot right now.
I noticed you just whipped right through it. Didn't even give our Twins a shout out. Just knocked them right out of play.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think about Houston? Come on, what do you think about Houston?
I just think they're too young. They're just not ready. I think when it comes down to the big lights, I think they're going to,
Hell of a year. And the only thing I'm wondering on Cleveland's part is, did they have that big burst and did that empty out the tank? You know what I'm saying? They were pitching lights out, hitting lights out, the whole thing.
We all know, but I guess I can't speak for everyone, but that what is it called? That premature ejaculation.
But
I mean, it's a great 5 seconds, but they do. Some women do expect more.
I gotta say, I did appreciate your efforts there with my cubbies. And offer you a little snack mix here from the World Series.
Wow,
Fannie Mae.
From the World Series. Look at that, huh?
There we go. Go Cubs.
Give me some. Give me some more. Who came up with that's a good name?
So what do you think though? If that were to be true, that rematch, you think Cleveland's got the edge this time?
I don't know. I flicked on last night. I watched the end of the Cubs Milwaukee game, and when the time comes and they need a hit, that team produces hits.
It'll be Madden again doing it with smoke and mirrors this time though, because the pitching is not as good as last year.
But they can when they need, like I said, when they need hits, they got these young guns come up out of nowhere and they just get hits. I think if anything, we're going to get 7 more glorious games. It's going to be another instant classic, and I think that's what let's be honest, I mean, baseball right now, they're what, like 5,500 home runs or something? The people are really buzzing about baseball. We got these great games going on. We got some runs happening. We got some teams trying to fight their way in the playoffs. It's pretty exciting right now for baseball. Very exciting.
Like I did say to you, the way you rushed through that, when I'm sure you agree, when you look at that list that you stated, I can't discount any of them. Boston, Cleveland, Houston, Washington, Chicago, Dodgers.
What about the Yankees? I mean,
even the wild cards.
The Yankees can get hot. I mean,
that's a heck of a list.
If Judge Dredd decides to go back on another home run spree, I mean, he hits the hell out of the ball.
Yep.
So here we go. We finished our first show. It's great getting back. Long off season, 2 weeks of getting blown to hell by Irma. I want to thank everyone for tuning back in and checking out our show.
Y'all have a good weekend.
Take it easy.